Alright gentlemen, it's Maybe That Guy. I am Ollie and today we are dealing with a viewer request, right? So one of our viewers wrote into the website asking how do I approach women in places like a museum or an art gallery. Okay, my man was totally fed up with speaking to women in nightclubs and pubs. He was over that, he was too old for that, didn't like approaching women in the street and was basically running out of areas and places he can meet women, right? And was also getting fed up with the online world. Well, it transpired that he was a big culture vulture. He was an arts and museum fan, so he was often perusing the museums and galleries of London on his weekends. So this was the place to meet not only like-minded women who share his interests, also women who share his kind of age range probably as well, as a mature gent, and also in a place where he is often at and he knows the surroundings. So today's video is going to be concerning how do we approach women in an art gallery or a museum. Alright, so there are two ends of the spectrum. One, you like the art gallery and museum because you're an arty or you're a history buff. You know your stuff, you're in your natural habitat. Two, probably more like me, you don't have a fucking clue about art, you don't know anything about history, and you're there simply because, you know, you enjoy looking at the stuff but you're really just a voyeur. You don't have a clue about any of the stuff and you're no great knowledge on art or history. Alright, so let's go with the first example, like the client who wrote in, and he is somebody who does know the arts and does know, you know, something about art or history and his surroundings basically. In this scenario, you see a young woman looking at art, or you know, someone you want to speak to looking at art or a museum artifact. Best thing to do is probably to walk up next to them and look at the same object, the same painting, and then to simply turn over and say, so, are you a fan of Botticelli? Don't know where that came from, I think Botticelli's an artist. So, are you a fan of Botticelli? And then to directly say, I absolutely love this one, what are your views on that? Right, it's showing a bit of cultural knowledge, and you're hopefully going to provoke a strong reaction from her. She's either going to be quite nervous and she's going to say, oh god, I don't know anything about art, is that ooh? Or she's going to be like, yeah, and she's going to go, oh yeah, I really like this, blah blah blah, and she's going to start giving you some knowledge on art. You've made it clear that you are into art and you have some knowledge by naming the painter and saying you really like this piece. Right, so if she responds, you know, the first route, saying that she has no clue about art, blah blah blah, well then you can be like, say, you can give her a compliment. You can say, wow, sorry, you must think, you know, how forward of me, you look like a real art fan, there's something about your style, I thought you were a big art buff. Anyway, do you like the painting? Right, do you like the painting? Have you heard of who Botticelli is? And then you can give her a little bit of your unarrogant knowledge on the art gallery, right? And you've also given her a compliment by telling her she looks like this kind of lady who's very sophisticated and would know her art, right? And then if it goes well, having given her a bit of info about this, you can chat to her a little bit, ask her where she's from, what she's doing, is she enjoying the art gallery, and you could say to her, if you like this one, well, would you care to let me show you another one of my favourites? And you can go and you can show her another artefact, another painting, and you can give her a bit more knowledge. Thus showing, one, you have knowledge on the subject, you're an expert, which is very attractive. Two, you've got a little reason, you're her tour guide, you know, you can take her around, and you're almost, you know, on like, you know, on a mini date, you're on an instant date, let's say. Alright? Again, if she had responded to you saying, oh actually blah blah blah, I know a lot about art. She says, no actually I'm not a big fan of this one, I much prefer his work from the blah 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 period. She's obviously an arty person, an art buff as well. But in that situation, the best thing is to say to her, is to either contradict what she says or agree but have a follow-on comment. You don't want to contradict too much, right? But you know, you just stick to your view, and if she says something differing, then offer your own critique in a very friendly and sort of, you know, platonic manner. You're not trying to start an aggressive confrontation, you're just simply offering your view. And then you could extend that on by saying, well yes, you know, I partially agree, I actually prefer blah 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 blah. What do you think about this painting? Or have you seen this painting? And in that way, especially good, what did you think about this painting, or have you seen this painting? Could be another painting in the gallery, and once again you can ask her to accompany you and look at that painting, and you can start to discuss art or history or whatever it is you're looking at together. Right, so that's going to work extremely well. Use the artifacts in museums or art galleries and do either of these routes depending on their level of knowledge of the scenario you're in and obviously what you're looking at. Okay guys, so that was approaching women in an art gallery or a museum and whatnot if you have some cultural knowledge of your circumstances. If you know absolutely nothing about art, then I do not suggest you go up and try and pretend you do. Right, because one, you're going to look like a bit of a twat, especially if she does have knowledge of art, you're just going to be obviously lying. And two, if she doesn't, it's just going to be a bit silly pretending you do to impress her with your depth of knowledge in art. If you don't have any clue about art or history, well, you know what, you're there. You're showing you're not a complete heathen, you're showing you have an interest, you're more like a normal person with a mild interest for historical things and beautiful things. So, you see the person you want to speak to, the best thing is to walk up to them and to say, so, do you like this piece? They'll respond and they'll say yeah or no, and then you can say, sorry, introduce yourself. Sorry, I'm Ollie, by the way. I wanted to ask you because you look like the kind of person who is, really arty. Are you a big art fan? You look very sophisticated and elegant. I presumed you're a big art buff. And smile. This is a nice compliment. Everybody wants to be told that they're elegant and sophisticated and look arty and intellectual. So she's going to be very sort of enamoured to you by that. She's going to like that, right? So then, if she responds and says, well, yes, actually, I am somewhat of an art fan. Yes, I am rather cultured. Well then, you can say, great, cool, I knew it, you look arty. So can you tell me some information about this painting? Well, praise her ego. Let her then tell you a few details about the painting and the artist and massage her ego. Show that you're somewhat of a heathen in the world of art, but you're willing to learn, you're finding this enthralling, thrilling, tantalising, and that you're really enjoying this moment with her. You can extend that on by saying, wow, that was really cool, I need to learn more about this stuff. I do love art, I just never have quite got into knowing, the difference between certain painters and styles, etc. Could you show me some more? Show me what's your favourite piece in this gallery, show me. Please, let me accompany you, show me and tell me about a few more paintings, it's fascinating. Boom! Then there you are, you have your own tour guide, and plus you fancy your tour guide. That is one sexy art gallery tour, alright? And you're basically on kind of an instant date again. If, on the other hand, she said to you, like yourself, no, I don't have a clue about art either, I'm just having a look around. Well then you say, ha ha ha, that's really surprising to me because you look like the kind of person who's really elegant and sophisticated and cool, and you look like the kind of girl who'd be into art. But I find that you're a mere heathen like me. Cool, man. Alright, so, what do you think about it anyway? I kind of like it, but I always think that blah 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 and say something funny. Make a joke. If it's modern art, take the piss. Say it looks like a child's painting. Alright, have a laugh about the art. And in that vein, you can have a laugh about it. You can say that you don't really know much about art, but you kind of like that one, but why is it that there's always somebody being murdered? Or, blah, blah, blah. Or is this like medieval porn? Why is it they have their boobs out? You can make a joke about it and be a bit of a lad, a bit of an idiot, a bit younger and silly about the painting. That's if she has no knowledge. And in turn, you can then say to her, you know what? Let me be your anti-tour guide. We can go around and we'll have a look at the paintings and have a laugh and see which ones we like. I can't offer you any knowledge, I'm a complete heathen, but it'll be fun. Please accompany me around the art gallery and we'll have a look and a laugh. And you can make it much more light-hearted and strike up a rapport with this female based on having fun in the scenario rather than having a shared experience over intellectual values and knowledge of art. So there we go guys. Museums, art galleries, one and the same thing, and approaching women, desired targets in those scenarios. There we have it. I'm Ollie, it's Make Me That Guy. As always, be sure to subscribe, we've got plenty more videos coming. If you like the video, give us a like and leave us a comment, give us some feedback, always appreciated. Thank you.